Today I'm going to show you guys how to make a seat bump. A lot of pros run seat bumps that are tactile reminders of where to sit on the bike and create more traction while seated. I like using them for the same reason, and here's how to make your own. While we're at it, I'll be changing out this seat cover for a ribbed one and also adding seat wings and showing you that process as well. In order to do this job, you're going to need a small flathead screwdriver, a pair of pliers, some sort of glue, saran wrap, tape, a foam bar pad or pipe insulation, some upholstery foam if you want wings, a razor sharp knife, and a stapler. Let's get into it. First thing we're going to need is a seat. If you don't have one, then grab your friends when they're not looking, or take one off of a police bike. They're free to the public, but the government just doesn't want you to know that. Next, you're going to use your small flathead screwdriver and pliers to remove all the staples from the underside of the seat to release the old cover. If you don't plan to replace the entire cover, you may not have to remove it fully. Just start at the rear and you'll want to be able to shuck about half of the seat foam. Once you've got the foam exposed, place the seat back on the bike and climb on. This is how you're going to determine where the bump will be placed. With the bike on a stand or with a helper holding it up, sit in the proper position with your butt directly above the foot pegs, roughly 1 hand width from the front edge of the seat. Place a mark directly behind your butt, all the way up one side, across the top, and down the other side. Now you can get off, take the seat back off, and to your workbench. Or, like you see here in the video, you can actually leave it on the bike. Now, take your spare bar pad or pipe insulation. I recommend bar pads because they are denser foam that will last longer and you can find them online for just a few bucks. And cut it in half, more or less, just like so. Then you can use some of the piece you cut off to fill the leftover hole to give it some added support. I'm choosing not to in this case, but it's up to you. Next, place it on your mark and just kind of mock it up to make sure that you like the placement. If you like, you can tape it in this spot and test the positioning on the bike again to really make sure you like where it's at. Don't rush this step because once it's glued, it becomes a bigger deal to undo. Once you like the placement, trace the outline of it. Now, get your glue. I use 3M foam adhesive. It's formulated for this type of application, but you can use hot glue or even duct tape if you really don't care. You're going to spray this on both the seat inside the traced area and the bottom of the bump. Then you'll want to hold it there until it sticks. Really make sure it tacks up, and then wrap it up tightly with saran wrap. Use some tape over the top of the wrap to tighten it up if you'd like. Once that glue is dry, remove the saran wrap and trim the excess foam off the sides of your new bump. You can shape it however you like at this point. Now that's it for the seat bump, but if you want to add wings, then you'll want to stick around for the end of the video where I'll show you how to add those. And this is the point that you're going to reattach your seat cover. Like I said, I am replacing this seat cover with a new one, but the process is the same no matter the situation. If you have a pneumatic upholstery stapler like this one, this job is a breeze. And if you don't, I'm sorry. A manual stapler will work, but it's just not a lot of fun. To install the seat cover, place it on top of the seat foam and position it starting from the front. You'll do this by aligning the seams with the corners and then make sure that the rear lines up straight. If it has patches like this one does, make sure you watch their placement and then fold the front corners over the front of the seat and then affix 2 staples, 1 in each corner, to ensure they stay in place. Flip it back over, pull it tight to the rear and line everything up again. Repeat this process for the rear. Then go back to the front of the seat and begin stapling in 1 to 2 inch sections while pulling the cover tight enough to smooth out any wrinkles, alternating left and right sides of the underside of the seat. Take extra care when you reach the seat bump area to pull it tight in the correct direction as you staple on either side of it. And make sure a wrinkle doesn't form directly in front of or behind it. Once you make it to the tail of the seat, really pull it tight, tighter than you think you need to, and affix it to the rear. There might be extra cover material left over from your initial tacks that you placed at the beginning, and that's okay. That means that you got it tight enough. Fill in any gaps in the staples around the edges that you see. You want the spacing to be even all the way around, and you really can't put too many staples in a seat. Even if you do, you can just pull them out. Once you're done stapling, cut the excess material that is left over. And that's it. Just put your seat back on the bike and go ride. Now, if you wanted to add wings like I mentioned earlier, follow these steps before reinstalling your cover. Place your freshly peeled seat foam on your bike. Suit up in your knee pads or braces at the minimum, and riding pants and boots as well if you're a tryhard. Climb on and get into your proper attack position. Squeeze the bike with your legs to keep your knees in place, and use a pen or marker to outline them against the side of the seat on each leg, port and starboard. Now, get off and take off those silly clothes. You look ridiculous. Head back to your workbench and cut some upholstery foam, bigger than you'll think you'll need, to cover the lines you just drew. Now, glue the foam onto the section that you just outlined. It helps to draw lines connecting them across the top of the seat as reference points, since you'll be covering them up. Wrap the whole operation up in saran wrap and let the glue dry. Once dried, remove the wrap and place the seat back on the bike. Suit up and climb on again. Yada yada yada, you get it. This fitment process takes some time and it requires patience. You'll mark the new foam the same way you did with the seat, but this time you're going to use a razor or very sharp knife to cut a slope from that line down to the level of the original seat. It can be as gradual or as steep as you'd like. This part's really up to you. Take your time with this process. It's worth getting everything trimmed just right and not rushing and cutting off too much right out of the gate. Patience is a virtue. What you're trying to accomplish here is creating a pad that allows you to not only grip the bike as firmly as possible between your knees, but also gives you a tactile reminder of where your knees should be as you ride in the standing attack position. Once you feel like it's perfect, then rewind the video and follow the steps to put your seat cover back on. The wings will add mass to your seat, so I would recommend using a new seat cover to ensure that you have enough material. This type of seat is something that I have come up with on my own after seeing the RJ wing seat cover made by Guts Racing, but without the nearly $200 price tag. I like the concept and figured I'd try to make a budget version, and it has worked wonderfully. The seat cover I used in this video was purchased on Amazon for 36 bucks, and I highly recommend them. They are very grippy, extremely durable, and they come in every color you can imagine, and are ribbed as they should be, not for pleasure, but for increased friction. They aren't a sponsor, but like I said, I do recommend them because for what you get, name brand seats are literally just a ripoff. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the finish line. Bye for now.